Hi, this is Shubham Tiwari, and I welcome you to Changemakers, a show brought to you by Wonderpublish magazine, where we bring to you the faces that are changing the face of education, innovation, and leadership in India. Today's guest, Ms. Richa Sharma, is an independent educator who runs a popular educational YouTube channel called Parcham Classes, which garners views in millions and millions and helps students achieve success in various kinds of competitive exams. Today, we have the pleasure of having Ms. Richa Sharma with us. So welcome to Wonderpublish magazine.
Thank you so much, Shubham. Thank you.
So, since how long you've been running this, your channel, Parcham Classes?
Well, the channel came into existence in the 2017 per se, lekin, the activity was more during the last 1 year.
Okay, so it's classes because the classes were there before the channel, right?
Yeah, the classes were there. Classes in the sense we were having a YouTube presence.
Okay.
No, not really in some offline sort of a classes. It's just that, I was basically into mnemonic training.
Okay.
If you know about this, there's the concept called mnemonic science, which is the science and the whole, aid which is into learning.
Right.
So I was more into that, and I thought that let me, imbibe that into the conventional way of teaching and come up with something innovative.
Right.
So that is how the whole idea of this channel came up. And so 2017, when we started, we were into just a regional level of examinations, and then like I told you a year earlier, we started into national level of exam.
Okay, and we'll try to keep this session, fairly bilingual because your audience is fairly bilingual. We have seen your videos. You teach in Hindi and English and all sorts of exams. So, mnemonic training का आपने बताया, थोड़ा जिक्र किया, इसके बारे में थोड़ा बताइए.
See, Shubham, mnemonic training is basically, like we say, science एक concept होता है, art एक concept होता है. इसी तरह से mnemonic science भी एक experimental and एक creative field है, जिसमें आप किसी भी चीज को जब आप पढ़ते हो, तो there are 3 elements into it, है ना? जब आप कुछ भी पढ़ते हैं जो समझने जैसा नहीं है, basically. There is one thing which involves understanding, जैसे mathematical concepts हो गए, आप समझ लेंगे तो काम हो जाएगा. लेकिन कुछ एक थियोरीज होती हैं, कुछ ऐसे टॉपिक्स होते हैं जिनको समझना ज्यादा नहीं होता. यू हैव टू जस्ट मेमोराइज इट, राइट? तो उसमें कितना फास्ट आप मेमोराइज कर पा रहे हो, आपने एक बार मेमोराइज कर लिया, कितने लंबे समय तक रिटेन रख पा रहे हो अपने ब्रेन में, एंड व्हेन यू आर एक्चुअली नीडिंग दैट इन्फॉर्मेशन, जैसे स्टूडेंट्स के केस में हम बात करें तो उनको एग्जामिनेशन टाइम में फास्टर रिकॉल की जरूरत होती है. सो mnemonic science has its role in all these 3 areas. It helps in faster memorization, longer retention, and quicker recall. So there are various techniques into it. बहुत आम भाषा में बोलें तो लोग इसको ट्रिक कह देते हैं, which I somehow do not agree with. आप अगर YouTube चैनल देखेंगे तो बहुत से वीडियोस आते हैं कि हम learn this with tricks. So I do not really believe in this trick वाला concept, but ठीक है, आम बच्चा इसको ट्रिक की तरह से समझता है, इसलिए हम भी अपने वीडियोस पे कई बार thumbnail पे with tricks लिखते हैं. But then it is way beyond than tricks. It is a learning aid. जैसे आप stories दिखाते हैं, that is a learning aid. If any of the viewers would have done B.Ed, they would understand there are various tools, है ना, जो learning को aid करते हैं. There are charts, there are diagrams, there are stories, there are practicals, there are models. इसी तरह से there's one more tool which is mnemonic science, which is an aid to learning. So this is what I basically am into. Okay.
So how did you get into this? I mean, आपको शुरू से interest था? Were you oriented
when
that
I was
way?
in school days, when I was in school. So in 12th standard, I believe that was my first interaction with mnemonic science concept. कोई एक seminar या something अजमेर में हुआ था. I hail from Ajmer. So I went into it. ठीक है, और वो बहुत जो भी in person seminar लेता है, they build a very huge, this image of this whole concept that wow, it is magic, कि उनको सब कुछ याद है, वो आप 50 numbers पूछेंगे और हाथों हाथ याद करके सुना देंगे, and this and that. So I was awestruck by that. But then I joined the sessions, I joined the classes. But then when I went into the classes, this entire concept went berserk. मुझे लगा कि सब बेवकूफ बनाने वाली चीजें, ऐसे याद नहीं होती. The only way to study is आप पढ़ो, आप मेहनत करो. आपने 4 बार ट्रिक्स बता दी और मैं पहले कोड्स याद करूं, फिर कोड्स को अप्लाई करूं और फिर ये सब करूं. Not my cup of tea. So that went off. Then what happened? I started my career in 2009 as a lecturer of MBA students. So 2014, if I'm not mistaken, I happened to join one startup which was feeling into mnemonic sciences.
Okay.
Okay, and I happened to join them as the head of learning and development. This is when the basic concept of mnemonics I had to learn in order to teach the kids. So होता है ना कि आप जब खुद के लिए पढ़ रहे होते हो तो इतना इंटरेस्टेड नहीं होते हो, पर जब आपको सिखाना है किसी को तो आप बहुत इंटरेस्ट से पढ़ते हो, because you have to go into the depth of things. तो वहां से इसकी स्टार्टिंग हुई, एंड when I उस टाइम जब हमने उस कंपनी में काम किया तो बहुत बेसिक लेवल पे डेवलप हो रखी थी चीजें. Then I went deeper into it. I tried to bring it in line with the things that students are required to learn. जैसे जीके में बहुत प्रॉब्लम बच्चे फेस करते हैं कि मैम जीके में सब कुछ याद ही तो करना है, कैसे करें. So we used to deal with school and college kids.
Right.
तो वहां फिर उस पे एप्लीकेशन करवा के कुछ एक टेक्निक सेल्फ डेवलप करके तो बहुत सारे कंटेंट पे उस समय काम किया ड्यूरिंग 2014 to 16.
Okay.
Then 2016 I started my own company as well, completely dedicated to this concept when even my child was born. So even she has a gene of mnemonics into her because all this while I was researching and developing content. So she's very creative, to tell you. So this is how the entire journey has been. तब से फिर mnemonic science पे जो कंपनी हमने स्टार्ट किया, उसके बाद I thought कि सिर्फ mnemonics पे काम ना करके बेटर होगा कि इसकी हैंड होल्डिंग की जाए एक्चुअल स्टडी के साथ जहां बच्चे प्रॉब्लम फेस करते हैं. टेक्निक सिखाना एंड दिस एंड दैट इज वन थिंग, लेकिन उसको अप्लाई कैसे करे बच्चा. देन वी थॉट ऑफ गेटिंग इनटू कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जामिनेशंस, वो एरिया जहां बच्चे वाकई में प्रॉब्लम फेस करते हैं कि मैम देयर इज एम्पल डेटा अवेलेबल, हमें वो सब याद करना है, कम टाइम में याद करना है, एग्जाम में बिल्कुल प्रिसाइसली हमें याद आ जाए. सो दिस इज हाउ वी थॉट ऑफ ब्रिंगिंग दिस एंटायर mnemonic science concept into competitive exam.
What do you think of these words like cramming and ratta lagao? These have such negative connotation to these words. So how do you look at these things?
See, again, very very vaguely put terms actually.
Yeah.
अगर आप इसको एक टेक्निकल टर्म में बोले, इट इज अ रोट लर्निंग मेथड. बहुत तमीज से हम अगर इसको बोले, इट इज अ रोट लर्निंग मेथड. इट इज नॉट इट बिल्कुल, एंड इट इज नॉट एट ऑल बैड. इट इज वन ऑफ द वेज ऑफ लर्निंग. आप अगर देखें, अगर हम किसी भी रिलीजियस स्क्रिप्चर की भी बात करें, एक इंसान कैसे उसको सीखता है, या हम छोटे बच्चे को भी देखें, अगर वो हमारी लैंग्वेज भी सीखता है तो कैसे बार बार सुनेगा, बार बार रिपीट करेगा. आज हमें किसी को कोई प्रेयर सिखानी है, स्कूल के कोई लेसन सिखाने होते हैं, सो टॉडलर्स कैसे सीखते हैं, दे लर्न बाय रिपीटिंग थिंग्स. सो दैट इज वन ऑफ द मेथड्स ऑफ लर्निंग. इसमें कुछ भी गलत नहीं. आप क्रैम कर रहे हो, इफ यू हैव द कैपेसिटी टू क्रैम, इफ योर ब्रेन इज सच कि आप 4 बार पढ़ के 5 बार पढ़ के रिटेन कर सकते हो, दैट इज अ गुड वे ऑफ लर्निंग. इट माइट नॉट बी इफेक्टिव फॉर एवरीबडी, but few section of students it can work wonders. So nothing wrong in that. कुछ बच्चे लिख के पढ़ने में कंफर्टेबल होते हैं, कुछ बच्चे रिपीट करके पढ़ने में कंफर्टेबल होते हैं, और कुछ को चाहिए कि if we have some creative ways of associating things, तो हम उस तरह से याद करें. So, I don't think so cramming is anything to do with less effective method of learning.
Right.
It is an equally effective method.
Okay, so you just told that to get some hand holding done. Sorry, you started with these competitive exams. So how was the initial response?
Initial response actually was so good, which made us think कि अच्छा ठीक है. Actually मैंने जब channel start किया था, I started like I told you, मैंने competitive exam में भी regional level of exam में start किया. And
regional, by regional you mean Rajasthan?
राजस्थान लेवल का एग्जामिनेशन, राइट. सो राजस्थान लेवल एग्जामिनेशन में स्टार्ट किया, एंड चैनल उस टाइम में बहुत रिगोरसली एक किसी अप्रोच के साथ नहीं चला रही थी. माय ओनली थॉट वाज कि ठीक है स्टार्ट करते हैं, डालते हैं. एंड आई वाज आल्सो इन अ टेस्ट एंड ट्रायल फेज, बट देन द काइंड ऑफ रिस्पांस दैट स्टार्टेड कमिंग, आई चेक्ड ऑन माय चैनल, लाइक आई यूज्ड टू चेक इट ऑन काफी मंथ्स में एक बार आकर के देख लिया. सो आई वाज वेरी इरेगुलर विद स्टफ, बट टू टेल यू शुभम, अभी जब से लॉकडाउन स्टार्ट हुआ और ऑफिस से फ्री हुए, बिकॉज आई एम आल्सो वर्किंग फुल टाइम 9 to 5 जॉब में हूं. Just because yes I am still into a 9 to 5 job. Wow. So just because the teacher inside somehow doesn't feel like resting, so I am continuing with this channel thing. And but now I'm on a I'm on a place whereby I can now take a decision. अब मैं थोड़ा सोच रही हूँ that I can take a call.
Just contemplating, I mean, which way to go.
I am contemplating right now. And certainly the teacher will not be, sitting silent. So probably the chances are more to jump into this area. Anyway, so जब lockdown हुआ तो I had a lot of time, and my husband Dilip, you know, he was the one who told me that आप बहुत एक restrictive niche पे काम कर रहे हो, क्यों राजस्थान लेवल पे अटके हुए हो, ठीक है? So there's a larger crowd who might be, you know, benefiting out of what you have to offer. So let us, you know, since he was also free at that time from his business, so he said, let us, you know, try and jump into the national level of content.
Right.
तब मैंने start किया geography वाला चीज, and I had posted some, I think almost on a daily basis posting videos, और तब जो एक turn लिया channel ने, that was
Right.
I would say historic मेरे लिए, because I was
Wow.
not expecting that much. So yeah.
And you don't have any background in geography, right? I mean, formal background.
Geography में, no, I do not have a formal
Wow.
education into geography. I am, to tell you, I am a science graduate. I am like I told you, MBA. I've done my MBA. I've cleared my net, but then that is also into MBA field only. Geography, like, see, I do not have any formal training. I have never attended geography classes or like that. But then I am a self-learned person. I read a lot. This is how I, you know, gather information, I pass it on.
And it makes it, you know, that much more impressive, because you don't have formal expertise, let's say, in very...
Yes, you may term it. I do not have formal expertise.
Yeah.
So whatever I acquire, I refer to n number of books. I refer to n number of sources. So क्योंकि मुझे पता है कि क्योंकि मैंने ग्रेजुएशन या पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन में ये सारी चीजें नहीं पढ़ी, तो मेरे लिए नेचुरल नहीं है, मुझे मेहनत करनी पड़ेगी और करनी पड़ेगी, and I'm doing that. Difficult है बहुत, you know, along with the job and a kid and home and this and that.
It's quite evident that you're doing well. So how much research goes into making one video? Let's say you made a video on rivers, right? Indian rivers, which is quite famous. You have pinned that video as well. How much time did it, you know, take you to make that video?
Rivers was a, you know, challenging project for me. And I took it up particularly because बच्चे बहुत difficulty face करते हैं उस, you know, एक particular topic में, और आप अगर YouTube search भी करो, किसी ने बहुत exhaustive तरीके से पढ़ाया भी नहीं है उसको, right? Because वो paid courses में मिलता है usually, जितना मैंने observe किया, you know, free platform पे इतना कोई नहीं पढ़ाएगा. So I had to study, और उसमें बहुत ambiguity है उस एक particular, you know, topic में. So बहुत सारे references देखने पड़े. जो भी एक पार्ट में लेकर के आती थी, उसमें पूरे एक दिन का मुझे रिसर्च लगता था, बिकॉज आई हैड टू वेरी, यू नो, श्योर बिफोर पुटिंग अप एनीथिंग. ऐसा नहीं है कि कभी बिल्कुल आइडिया नहीं रहा रिवर्स, बट देन अगेन टू गिव इट टू स्टूडेंट्स, आपको इतना देना है तो यू हैव टू स्टडी दिस मच, यू नो, दैट एंटायर कांसेप्ट. सो अ लॉट डिड गो इनटू इट. पूरा एक दिन लगता था. आई यूज्ड टू स्टार्ट इन द मॉर्निंग. एवरीबॉडी एट द होम यूज्ड टू सपोर्ट मी. आई मीन, वी आर a joint family, to tell you. My mother and father-in-law put up with us. So mother-in-law used to take care of all the house affairs. के ठीक है तुम पढ़ो. Husband used to take care of the child. के okay, you study. Okay, so fine. The face shows up of mine, but the entire family has put in a lot of efforts. I used to start in the morning, and until evening I used to study. Evening I used to go record and come back and start on the next topic.
You used to go somewhere, I mean, to a studio, or?
I have a studio. I have a studio. It is a kind of a, you know, DIY studio, I would say.
Okay, do it yourself.
DIY ही था. एक प्रोजेक्टर था हमारे पास. I also have a experience of running a restaurant with a husband.
Okay, so your husband into hospitality, I mean, restaurant business?
He was. I mean, we had multiple, you know, areas of work. So now he's into something else. But at that time, yes, we were into that line. So we had a projector. Okay, so I used the projector with the whiteboard, and this is how I used to teach earlier, if you would see the videos. And तब इतना कोई, you know, flash lights and all that भी नहीं था. वो भी अब हमने DIY करके बनाया है. I've shared it with the Insta followers how we created it. So yeah, I do not have a formal setup even today, except the smart panel that we've taken. अभी भी we make little things because that gives a, you know, kind of अपनापन वाला approach भी रहता है. And चीजों जब तक फुल फ्लेजेड अभी कूदते नहीं हैं चीजों में, तो आई एम थिंकिंग फाइन.
और आपकी टीम भी थोड़ा एक्सपेंड कर गई है, तो कौन लोग हैं आपकी टीम में? कितने टीचर्स हैं, कितने लोग हैं जो पीछे हैं टेक्निकलिटीज में?
अगर आप कोर टीम की बात करो, सो वी आर नॉट अ बिग टीम. वी आर अ टीम ऑफ सम 5-6 इंडिविजुअल्स. ओके. But yeah, all of them are, you know, real hard workers. We have a team which takes care into digital marketing. Okay, जितना भी social handles है उनको manage करने का काम करते हैं. Videos, जो मेरे videos हैं, अभी तक भी मैं खुद ही उनको edit करना and upload करना. This I take care myself only, even until today. And then there is a team which takes care of all the analytics and, you know, the accounting areas, because a lot of taxing and all that goes, you know. So Dilip, like I told you, my husband, he takes care of the analytics and taking care of the accounts and taxation and this
Right.
and that. There's a team under him. Not a team. I call it a team, but then one individual taking care
Right.
of
Of
one
course.
area, another individual taking care of that area. Then we have one person, since there are a lot of people who are trying to get associated with
Yeah.
us now. So there is one person who's taking care of, this HR sort of area.
Business
जिसको हमने
opportunities.
बोला
Yeah.
है,
Yeah. Correct.
yeah, managing opportunities which are coming
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
way, managing human engagement and content development.
Yeah.
So, and teachers, I think abhi ki baat kare to we have only one outsider who's working with us, right? Daily current affair classes jo ma'am le rahe hain,
Right.
she is the one who is associated with us and who is not, friends and family. She
Okay.
is a completely, outsider. She hails from a different city, and
Mm-hmm.
she's working
Right.
on something else, and she's just associated with us. बीच में कुछ टीचर्स एसोसिएट हुए थे, बट देन लाइक आई सेड अभी भी हम लोग हिट एंड ट्रायल पे ही हैं. हम देखते
जी.
हैं, थोड़े टाइम में लगता है क्वालिटी उस हिसाब से नहीं आ रहा, या थिंग्स आर नॉट मूविंग द वे इट शुड मूव. सो वी कीप ऑन
Trying. Yeah.
experimenting. So as of now we
Come
are
on.
3 teachers
Yeah.
and a team of 5.
Team of 5. Okay. Do you have any insights कि कितने जो आपकी ऑडियंस है उसमें कितनी लड़कियां हैं, कितने लड़के हैं? Is there any kind of insight there?
Of course, I honestly do not go into analytics much, so I will not be able to tell you precisely. But I think the following is more inclined towards boys. It would be some, if I'm not wrong, some 70-30 or 65-35 ratio.
Which is impressive because YouTube पे ज़्यादातर boys ही होते हैं. It's a male dominant, sort of platform. Young boys are more there on YouTube. So 70-30 is pretty impressive.
In terms of viewer you are seeing, or in terms of the person who's delivering, more of boys? ऐसा नहीं है कि girls कम view करती होंगी YouTube. I don't know. I might be wrong here, but then जो एनालिटिक्स है हमारे चैनल के पर्टिकुलरली, उसमें बहुत चेंज आया है. लाइक पिछले 6 महीने में द रेशियो ऑफ गर्ल्स कमिंग टू द चैनल एज व्यूअर्स हैज इंक्रीज्ड. शुरू में इतना नहीं था. शुरू में देयर वाज अ क्लियर कट मेजॉरिटी विद बॉयज बीइंग clearly there, and girls का बहुत कम percentage होता था, but now they are trying, getting a little.
Would you say it happened because of COVID?
COVID certainly gave a push to the things, right? Because YouTube पे presence लोगों का, या किसी भी online platform पे लोगों का presence बहुत बढ़ गया, जैसे का restricted हो गया बाहर move out होना. तो YouTube ने न सिर्फ हमारे channel को, for every channel, not YouTube, sorry, this COVID thing, this lockdown thing, acted as a propeller for every channel. Correct. And of course to us also, no doubts in that.
Correct. And your family supports you, I mean, supported you from the beginning?
Thoroughly.
Wonderful.
When my child was barely 1.5 months, I've been, working with her, and even she's been very supportive. She's never, bothered me that I could not work. And of course, the family is there. Otherwise, it's not possible, Shubham,
Correct.
to be working on all these areas if there's no support behind you. Particularly when you have responsibilities to cater to, so you need support, and I always had it.
Wonderful. So why Parcham? I mean, why did you name this as Parcham? Is there a story behind this?
Okay. See, like I told you, जब मैंने शुरू किया था, मैंने एक रीजनल लेवल ऑफ एग्जामिनेशन के लिए स्टार्ट किया था, तो आई वाज लुकिंग फॉर अ हिंदी नेम, क्योंकि राजस्थान के बच्चों को पढ़ाना था, तो इंग्लिश एकदम से हिट नहीं होता. एंड समहाउ I don't know why I have a little more inclination towards naming things into Hindi rather than into English. This is my personal inclination, nothing like that. Even in my बहुत छोटी सी चीजें पर मेरा जब मैरिज का कार्ड था, तो भी I preferred हिंदी में लिख के आप सब कुछ rather than going for English. My parents wanted it in English, I wanted it in Hindi. And Parcham, why this word Parcham? Because see, Parcham का मतलब होता है विजय ध्वज. Parcham basically is a flag, but then फ्लैग को ध्वज भी कहा जाता है, ध्वजा भी कहा जाता है, लेकिन जब वो विक्ट्री के साथ जुड़ जाता है तो परचम ही कहलाता है. तो जैसे कि वॉर्स में होता है, हर एक जो पार्टी होती है, the opponents are there, they all have their flag that is their identity. So the reason behind naming it Parcham was we wanted to create victories in the lives of students, and we wanted them also to hold this flag and move forward. So एक I have inclination towards writing and that creative side.
Correct.
तो मैंने थोड़ा सा ये connotation लेकर के परचम नाम रखा था कि we would be able to create victories in the lives of students, and that is how हम बोल सकेंगे कि परचम फहराया है.
Wonderful. And since you learned on the job, as you told us earlier, what do you say? कौन से स्किल्स हैं जो कि एक अच्छा यूट्यूब एजुकेटर होने के लिए आपको चाहिए?
कौन से स्किल्स हैं
जो आपने खुद ने सीखे हैं इस जर्नी में, लेट्स से?
वेल, एक तो आपको टेक्निकली थोड़ा साउंड होना चाहिए, जो मैंने सीखा है.
Which you were not.
I still which I was not. Even today I'm not. You must have seen थोड़ी देर पहले जो हमारे challenges आ रहे थे, fixing things up. So ये मेरे साथ आज भी है. जो काम मेरे हाथ से एक बार गुजर जाता है, वो चीजें I'm comfortable with, but otherwise I won't say I'm a pro into technology. I'm not. Okay, there are so many things that I do not use. I'm not very active on social platforms because I do not really find myself very abreast with all these things.
Right.
दूसरी चीज, I think the ability to connect with the audience. See, it's a pool out there. Yeah, people are doing a lot of अलग-अलग किस्म के काम कर रहे हैं लोग. They are coming up with different skill set. They are coming up with their hobbies. There are so many things. So skill set में मैं यही बोलूंगी, अगर आपके if you have the ability to connect with the audience, then whatever you are offering, whatever, then I think you'll be able to hit better. And consistency, which I was lacking in the initial days and kind of have brought in now. So consistency is another thing. Like everybody says content and this and that. So वो तो एक बहुत common सी चीज है. But then I think थोड़ा सा to be in with the times, to be able to assess what the audience needs and wants. ये एक अगर आप pick करने का, you have this acumen and you can work accordingly, deliver accordingly, running before time and trying to gauge things. So nothing out of the world sort of a thing.
Okay. So वैसे तो मुझे ये अगला सवाल आपकी ऑडियंस से करना चाहिए, but since there is no one particular person here, what do you think makes Parcham Classes different from other educational YouTube channels?
See, there are so many channels, of course, right? And so many channels are doing good too. Okay, I'm not saying good in terms of number of subscribers and the number of views that they are getting, but in terms of the quality of work that they are doing. Correct. Right? Even while बहुत से ऐसे लोग हैं who are I would not call them educators, they are more of entertainers for me, but then there are also such people who are doing great work out there, okay, who are putting as much hard work as we are putting in, who are bringing up as good a content as we are trying to bring. So what makes us different, I think, would be the approach. We अभी तक के लिए we are not focusing on any particular examination. Like अधिकतर channels पर मैं देखती हूँ that the pattern of coming up with various courses, right? Like they're the students prepare for SSC, NTPC, RRB, UPSC, CSC, mains, etc. So we have not categorized things that way. We are focusing only on a say chapter or a topic, and we are trying to give right from the basics to the advanced concepts. Now, whichever examination you are preparing for, you can take the content and seek help out of it. So बहुत कुछ तो शुभम अभी किया ही नहीं है. Which I can proudly say कि हमने बहुत कुछ कर लिया और इस वजह से ये हमारा USP है, इसलिए हम different हैं. पर हाँ, ये जरूर है कि जो भी content हम लेकर के आ रहे हैं, we are not limitizing us to a particular examination. जो भी बच्चा channel पे आएगा, irrespective of कोई भी exam वो दे रहा हो, he or she will be able to pick, take up something of quality and use it in any examination that they are preparing for, right? So this is, I think, what makes us different. And of course, the use of mnemonics, particularly in my videos, I can say, my objective is to ease things for them, right? And every human has this capacity of photographic memory, right? They can utilize that feature, and I just try and help them use their potential. तो मुझे लगता है हो सकता है ये एक चीज है जो थोड़ा different बनाती हो, based on the comments that I receive from the viewers, because they say that ma'am, जिस चीज से फोबिया लगता था वो अब बहुत फ्रेंडली लगने लग गई है, राइट? एंड पहले चीजें क्रैम या याद करना या मेमोराइज करना डिफिकल्ट लगता था. नाउ इट फील्स लाइक अ पीस ऑफ केक वॉक. So I think based on the comments that I received from the students, I think this is what is our USP, to make things easier for them, to try and give the best of content, explain it in the most optimum a manner it should be done, and help them memorize the facts.
Right. Have you met any of your students in person? Not yet.
Not yet.
But now that people know that you're from Ajmer, some of them, get the idea that.
Yeah.
Okay. So speaking of, again, I mean, this question does not, I mean, particularly, refer to you, but still there is a downturn in the government, these jobs, the number of openings that are coming up, it's getting less and less, right? From UPSC to SSC to bank exams. What do you say? What comment do you have on that?
See, vacancies तो announce हो रही हैं. Problem vacancies का इतना नहीं है. Problem जितना उस पूरे process का है. The vacancies getting announced, examination being conducted, result getting delayed, या तो result आने में mistakes होना, उस वजह से re-examination होना, पर वो re-examination time पे नहीं होना.
Correct.
Right. So ये challenges हैं जो बच्चे ज्यादा face कर रहे हैं. Otherwise vacancies ठीक ठाक जो निकल रही हैं वो निकल रही हैं, और जैसे निकलेंगी students are fine with that. I do not see students getting agitated because vacancies कम आ रही हैं. Right. Problem is एक streamlining नहीं है process की, and there are so many loopholes, and it coming from the government makes it even more saddening a situation, because अगर हम सरकारी नौकरियों की बात करें तो या तो एक बच्चा अपने रीजनल लेवल के एग्जाम्स फेस करेगा या सेंट्रल लेवल के एग्जाम फेस करेगा. रीजनल लेवल में भी अगर मैं सिर्फ राजस्थान की बात करूं, इट इज एक्चुअली वेरी सैडनिंग टू सी के 2013 के 14 के 15 के भी जो एग्जाम्स हुए थे इन दोज इयर्स, उनके भी चीजें कई बार अवेटेड रह जाती है, और आज भी बच्चा वेट कर रहा है कि अरे कब तो रिजल्ट आएगा. आएगा तो सही आएगा, उसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम तो नहीं हो जाएगी. तो एक बच्चा जिसने शायद 4-5 साल पहले एग्जाम दिया होगा, आज भी वो even after clearing the examination, या तो उसको पोस्ट नहीं मिल पा रही है, वो घर पे है, घर की तरफ से, सोसाइटी की तरफ से, सेल्फ की तरफ से बहुत सारे प्रेशर्स बिल्ड अप होते हैं. सो ऑफ कोर्स इट इज नॉट अ वेरी हेल्दी सिचुएशन टू टेल यू, राइट. एंड ये जो पूरा बीच में अभी हैशटैग उठा था मोदी रोजगार दो, आई वुड लाइक, यू डिड नॉट मेंशन इट प्रिसाइसली, बट आई वुड लाइक टू कमेंट ऑन दैट एज वेल.
Yes, please. Yeah.
I see, of course, the idea of bringing this pain to the forefront कि ये ऐसी प्रॉब्लम आ रही है स्टूडेंट्स को, हम इसको थोड़ा नेशनल प्लेटफॉर्म पर लेकर के आए, the idea was good, but then I don't think so इससे कुछ होना है, right. See, the problem is जब तक जो ब्यूरोक्रेसी में लोग बैठे हैं, जो गवर्नमेंट में लोग बैठे हैं, I don't know what approach could be there. मैं किसी एक इंसान के अप्रोच पे तब तक कमेंट मुझे करना नहीं चाहिए जब तक मेरे पास कोई बेटर सोल्यूशन नहीं हो. लेकिन what happened, the farmer protest, what happened, right, the student protest, what happened. So I know it is a sad situation, and कई students ने पूछा भी मैम आपने कमेंट नहीं दिया. मैंने कमेंट नहीं दिया because मुझे लगा ये सिनेरियो हम फार्मर्स के साथ में भी देख रहे हैं, इतने लास्ट लेवल पे इतना कुछ होने के बावजूद they still are struggling, nothing coming up. So yeah, I don't know solution क्या है, honestly Shubham, I really don't know what the solution is, but the situation actually is very disheartening to see कि अगर एक बच्चा है जो कि अपने late teens में है या early 20s में है, वो एग्जामिनेशन की तैयारी करता है, अपने 3-4-5 साल लगा रहा है किसी चीज में, फिर भी अगर वो जॉब नहीं पा रहा है, so it is something needs to be done. Correct.
And आज ही शायद राजस्थान में रीट का एग्जाम फिर से पोस्टपोन हो गया. I saw that news. So it's on both levels, I guess, state and national.
Yes.
So yeah.
National से expectation थोड़ी ज्यादा होती है बच्चों की, state का तो बच्चों ने कहीं ना कर लिया होता है.
They resigned to the fact that things are like that.
They resigned to the fact that things are like that. Fine, but the center has high, people have high expectations from the central level of examinations, and this trend, percolating there also. वहां तक भी अगर ये प्रॉब्लम जा रही है कि कंसिस्टेंसी में प्रॉब्लम आ रही है, रिजल्ट्स में प्रॉब्लम आ रही है, पोस्टिंग्स आने में प्रॉब्लम आ रही है, तो फिर तो हम कहाँ जा रहे हैं, ये द गवर्नमेंट एक्चुअली नीड्स टू थिंक. हमारी प्ली वहां तक पहुंचे गया नहीं पहुंचे गया, आई डू नॉट नो, बट देन या द गवर्नमेंट नीड्स टू थिंक.
एब्सोल्युटली, लोगों की बहुत एक्सपेक्टेशंस हैं गवर्नमेंट से, बट आपके स्टूडेंट्स की, आपके फॉलोअर्स की आपसे भी बहुत एक्सपेक्टेशंस हैं, और आपने कहा भी अभी बहुत कुछ करना है. सो व्हाट्स नेक्स्ट, व्हाट आर द नेक्स्ट थिंग्स दैट यू आर प्लानिंग टू डू?
वेल, थोड़ा सा हिंट मैंने आपको दिया. अभी जो भी कुछ हो रहा है वो बहुत लिमिटेड टाइम फ्रेम में मैं कर पा रही हूँ, और उस वजह से बहुत कुछ कर ही नहीं पा रही हूँ, बिकॉज आई हैव 24 hours and there are so many things to cater to. And कभी हमारी बात होगी तो I'll tell you the kind of schedule that I have, when I start and when I just,
No,
relax.
please
So
tell
it
us
is a
if you can. I
continuous,
mean,
it is a continuous grill, Shubham,
yeah,
सुबह उठो and there's a little household chores and a child and then office and coming back and running
yeah,
to the studio. रात में आप वापस आते हो नीचे और फिर बच्चे को थोड़ा देखो, फिर you have something to study and then so it has been like this for I think year would be completed now.
yeah,
और I mean it is really grilling, बहुत ज्यादा difficult है, so इसलिए जितना भी हो पा रहा है बहुत कम है. स्टूडेंट्स की बहुत expectations है, मैम bring this also, मैम bring that also, and somehow वो expectations आपको anxiety भी देती हैं,
yeah,
because आपको पता है आप करना भी चाहते हो लेकिन कर नहीं पा रहे. And so it is not a very healthy feeling to live with. There are so many out there who want things from you and you can deliver them, you
right.
can help them out, and still you are not able to do so. I am trying to figure out a solution. What next में तो अभी यही है कि live बच्चे बहुत demand कर रहे हैं. I do not know why. Honestly, Shubham, I am not a very huge fan of live sessions and all that. Reason being, मुझे नहीं लगता वो इतने effective होते हैं. But ठीक है,
Okay.
बच्चों में एक trend आ गया है कि मैम live आइए. तो probably हमने app बनवा ली है. App launch होगा next, तो event यही है. और उससे पहले मुझे एक career turn जो भी देना है खुद को, वो एक बड़ा decision है that I have to take. Yeah, decision to make. So once I'm done with this career shift sort of a thing, if I'm able to, because there are so many dynamics to decide upon before taking a call. So अगर वो कर पाए तो फिर तो कूदेंगे मैदान में, फिर तो बहुत कुछ है करने के लिए करेंगे.
Right. And I'm really happy that you brought out this word of stress. How do you manage stress yourself? Because when we look at our teachers, we don't think that our teachers are stressed. We just as students think we are the ones who are stressed. So please tell to your students कि आपको stress होता है या नहीं होता है तो क्या करती हैं?
Immense level of stress is there, and सिर्फ काम का स्ट्रेस नहीं होता. स्ट्रेस बहुत सी चीजों का होता है. काम इज वन पार्ट ऑफ इट. एक्सपेक्टेशंस अपने आप में बहुत स्ट्रेस डालती हैं. वो वर्क फ्रंट पे हो, पर्सनल फ्रंट पे हो, कहीं पे भी हो. If people have expectations from you, you will be under stress because you have to deliver accordingly. So stress तो certainly बहुत है. कैसे हैंडल करते हो? I am not great at it though. I am not great at it. जब मुझे लगता है कि ओवरबोर्ड हो रहा है, so just leave everything, take a break like that. So there are few days when my video doesn't come up, for example.
Correct.
So many of those days are one such days जब मुझे लगता है मैं over exhausted हूँ, तो छोड़ दो, ठीक है, and then start afresh. So my strategy of stress busting is taking a break. It might be for a couple of hours or a day, and do whatever I feel like doing, because I just move out, or I just read, or I will watch some things, or I'll just lie down the entire day. But this is how I manage stress. उसके अलावा देखो, अगर proactive approach की बात करें, so the more you are managed, you will be able to combat stress better. So I try and I try, though I'm not great at it even now, I'm telling you, because there are so many things going on simultaneously. But I try to schedule things. ये स्टूडेंट्स के लिए भी हेल्पफुल हो सकता है कि आपको अगर स्ट्रेस थोड़ा कम करना है, जितनी चीजें पोस्टपोन होंगी, जितनी मिसमैनेज होंगी, स्ट्रेस उतना ही बढ़ने के चांसेस होंगे. सो ट्राई एंड प्लान योर डे वेल, एंड व्हेन यू हैव थिंग्स रिटन समवेयर क्लियरली इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू, यू विल बी एबल टू डिलीवर बेटर. एंड कि पूरे दिन में मुझे ये 4 टास्क करने हैं, पर ये तो करने ही है ना. एंड देन आप अकॉर्डिंगली अपनी एनर्जी चैनलाइज कर सकते हो, वरना सारी चीजें मिक्स हो जाएंगी अगर आप पर्टिकुलरली मल्टीटास्किंग में हो तो. और आना ही है.
Correct. So we are, right at the end of our interview. So if you have anything to say which I didn't ask you, if you want to say something, now is the time.
I think we've covered almost everything. So nothing in particular. Is just a little message to the students I would like to give through the platform that you have offered. See, आज के बच्चों की अगर हम बात करें, they have so much flush of information available. Okay. आप YouTube खोल लीजिए, आप कोई भी अदर मीडियम खोल लीजिए. आज जितना ईज ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन है, उतना ही ट्रैप ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन भी है, राइट? सो आई वुड रियली अपील फ्रॉम योर मीडिया के आई सी अ लॉट ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स फॉलोइंग. It is not to criticize somebody, but it is just to give a message that utilize your time well. है ना. अभी मैं यूथ को देखती हूँ because I do interact with a lot of young blood also. I
Right.
see a lot of them wasting their time into such activities as if
Social
make
media
fun
and
videos,
these. Yeah.
social medias and this and that.
Correct.
This अगर आपको मैं बोलूँ तो थोड़े जो रूरल बैकग्राउंड के बच्चे बहुत सिंसियर हैं, वो इन चीजों में फिर
Okay.
इतना नहीं जाते. Yes, I've met a lot of them. They are very focused in that sense. पर ये जो हमारा जो एकदम शहरी बच्चा है, वो इतना डिस्ट्रैक्टेड है, in spite of having immense talent, in spite of having the best of resources,
Right.
वो अपनी एनर्जी आज सही जगह पे अगर चैनलाइज करने लग जाए शुभम, the picture will be different, not just for them and their family, but the things around us, you know.
Correct.
आज आप जो सबसे बेस्ट अच्छे टैलेंट्स होंगे वो आपको ऐसे प्लेटफॉर्म से इजीली देखने को नहीं मिलते.
नहीं
वो लोग
मिलेंगे.
होंगे अच्छी कंपनी में अपना काम करते हुए, बट देन जो लोग यूट्यूब पे हैं, द स्टूडेंट्स नीड टू डिफरेंशिएट where to invest their time and energy and where not. ठीक है, सब कुछ अवेलेबल है आज के टाइम में. हमारे टाइम में या आप तो यंग लग रहे हो मुझे, पर हमारे टाइम में या मुझसे भी पहले के टाइम में, if you have to actually get good content, you will have to rely on books and only books.
Yeah.
Right. आज अगर
Libraries.
बच्चे
Yeah.
को घर से पढ़ना है तो उसके पास घर से फ्री में भी ample information is available, provided उसे पता हो where to go, where not to go. So not just Parcham, I'm not trying to brand myself. So my appeal is follow good channels, follow good content, do not go by gimmicks and this entertaining aspects कि ठीक है ये सर आएंगे, वो मैम आएंगे, and they are doing
Correct.
some they are just entertaining us for certain reason, and that is why we are wasting our time and energy after them. So there are very good YouTubers also available, दो number कम है पर फिर भी अच्छे हैं. Do try and follow them. If you are investing your money somewhere,
Yeah.
think very wisely before putting in your money into any of the courses, because बच्चे मैम हमने paid course खरीद रखा है, फिर भी we are not satisfied. Now we are looking for free classes here and there. So this is my only kind of appeal बोल दीजिए, message बोल दीजिए, that थोड़ा सा sincerely क्या follow करना है, क्या नहीं follow करना है, इस acumen को develop कर लें. बाकी तो आज के बच्चे बहुत आगे हैं. If they want to do something good, they can actually do great wonders.
Absolutely. And आपने तो थोड़ा एकदम you got so humble when you mentioned that I will not brand Parcham, but we will certainly say that please follow Parcham Classes. Find Richa there. You can find various kinds of lectures there on from current affairs to geography to almost all the exams that from bank to SSC. So with that, we'd like to thank Richa Sharma for giving us her precious time. Thank you.
Thank you, Shubham. It was lovely interacting with you. Thank you so much. This is my first interview, to tell you. I've never
wonderful. So glad and honored to have you. Okay.
It was a wonderful feeling. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you everyone for watching this interview. We'll come back with another episode of Education Plus or Changemakers or Industry Insights. Thank you.